Well, well, looks like Mercedes-Benz has to recall more than 10,000 of its imported cars from its market in China. That's a lot of cars. Jeez. Turns out there have been certain safety concerns about these cars. Without further ado, let's get into it. First up, Mercedes-Benz recalls around 10,000 imported cars in China. The National Market Regulatory Authority in China confirmed that Mercedes-Benz will be recalling 10,000 and more of its imported cars from the Chinese market. The regulatory body oversees that all products in the country's markets are safe and secure for the public to use. Sadly, in this case, those 10,000 cars seem to pose plenty of safety concerns. Pretty astonishing, though, that so many cars would have such issues if you think about it. That must pose a lot of problems for the automobile company. The regulatory authority also disclosed which cars are being sent back. This includes a total of 11,212 GLE and GLS SUVs, Mercedes-Benz top two SUV models. There are also some 600 or more EQS cars being sent back. The EQS is considered the company's most luxurious electric car. Goodness, just looking at those numbers is making our heads dizzy. We're sure this must be costing the company a lot with shipment and everything. So what exactly was the safety concern here with all these vehicles? The defective GLE and GLS SUVs are going to be recalled starting today, August 15th. These cars had some trouble with their storage battery's ground cable. On inspection, it looks like the cable wasn't functioning properly at all. On even further inspection, it turned out the cable was defective in more than 10,000 cars. Dang, Mercedes really needs to check this out. Damaged ground cables pose a lot of safety concerns. The main one being that if they don't function properly, it can cause a fire risk. If a cable is damaged, the negative current ends up trying to find a different electrical path, and this in turn can cause severe problems in a car's electrical system. Trouble with that always leads to short-circuiting and then eventually, as you all know, a fire. Mercedes-Benz will start recalling the defective EQS vehicles from September 1st. For these luxurious electric cars, it turns out the screws on the front and rear bumpers don't meet market specifications. Once again, that's a big concern for safety because, whoa, you can't possibly drive a car with loose screws now, can you? Well, is this the first time that something like this has happened? To have such a big company like Mercedes-Benz recall so many of its cars and offer to provide repair free of charge, that definitely sounds like a huge deal. And the surprising thing is, it's not very uncharacteristic of the company because if you dig around, you'll be astonished to know that it's happened in the past before. Turns out, it's a pretty frequent thing for Mercedes. What's more, the automobile company had to recall more than 1 million cars globally just 2 months ago. We're not sure if you heard, but just 2 months ago, Mercedes-Benz made a global announcement about recalling around 1 million of the company's cars due to some problem with the brakes. The Federal Transport Authority in Germany mentioned which cars would be recalled. They mostly included pretty old cars that were manufactured between 2004 and 2015. Turns out, all of them had some defect in their braking system. Most of the vehicles were from Mercedes SUV series ML and GL. An estimated 993,407 cars were recalled from around the world, and around 70,000 of these were from Germany. The same authority also discussed how corroded brake boosters can lead to a disruption in the connection between the braking pedal and the braking system. This increases the risk of a crash or injury because you won't have a properly functioning brake to stop the car in time. What exactly led Mercedes to make the announcement for the recall? Well, they said they had been receiving separate accounts of damage to the braking system in certain vehicles. Based on that, they decided to be on the safe side and recall all vehicles of the same make to prevent any further issues. For the recall process, the company announced it would perform a thorough inspection of all the vehicles to see which ones require all the necessary repairs to get the braking system all functional. And then there was the recall of 2.6 million vehicles from China back in 2021. We mentioned how this is something that's happened before. Well, the same thing happened in China back in 2021 too. The world-renowned car maker had to initiate a very big recall of around 2.6 million cars from China over concerns about damages to the software design of the vehicle. The recall involved almost 17 different models of cars, which had been produced somewhere between the years 2016 and 2020. Any kind of trouble with the software design of a car means that you're unable to locate said car in case there's been a car crash. Almost 2.6 million cars that were imported to China that year faced this issue with software design and had to be recalled by the German automobile company. Even then, the manufacturer promised to fix the issue with the software design free of charge. But don't forget about the silver lining here. While we can understand that it's pretty concerning how often these recalls are being conducted by this famous automobile company known for its perfect vehicle design and whatnot, there's, in our opinion, a silver lining to consider here. Mercedes-Benz quickly responding to inspections and then going over thorough analysis to make sure they can fix the problem, that's some vigilant work. Even if the cars come up defective, at least the company owns up to what's gone wrong and tries to repair the defective cars. Even if this has been a frequent issue, the German company has made sure to recall all of the faulty cars and fix the problem, and all of this free of charge. That's pretty impressive, if we must admit. We do hope that such problems don't pop up more frequently in the future, but the fact remains, the company never disappoints. There's a reason it's one of the top automobile companies in the entire world. Now, in other automobile news. First up, Tesla's electric cars are making their way to Australia. Social media witnessed the first glimpse of Australia's newest shipment of Tesla cars lined up on Shanghai's dockyards. Pictures of rows and rows of minted cars are posted via Twitter, showcasing the insanely exciting record-breaking shipment that would soon hit Australia's streets. Sawyer Merritt, a Tesla investor who actively and regularly updates his followers on his socials with Tesla's most recent releases, commented that he counted more than 8,800 cars awaiting dispatch on the dock. This whopping new number of freshly minted cars, about to make Australian customers the happiest on the planet, is a fresh upgrade from last month. Sawyer noted that in mid-July, the final number of cars released for purchase from Tesla factories only reached 7,000. However, this month saw a hike in the numbers, which can majorly be attributed to the recent Giga Shanghai factory upgrades. The Driven's Riz Akhtar states that Tesla's most recent manufacturer update allows for the brand to mass-produce 2,000 more cars every day. Next, Toyota Motor Corp is facing a lawsuit in the U.S. Well, looks like the Japanese automobile companies Toyota Motor Corp, along with Hino Motors Limited, are set to face a lawsuit about historical misconduct in the U.S. The proceedings will take place in the Southern District of Florida, and the case has been filed by people who bought or leased Hino motor trucks that were made between the years 2004 and 2021. Just around this month, an investigation report revealed that Hino Motors, which happens to be Toyota's primary business affiliation, forged information regarding data about vehicle engine emissions. What's worse is that Hino seems to be blaming its workers for the ongoing lawsuit. There's not much information about exactly what amounts the plaintiffs are hoping to recover, but a rough estimate is around $5 million. Well, this one's sure to taint Toyota's name. And finally, BMW's new environmental change initiative. Who would have thought that a luxury automobile brand would be more mindful of the environment than half of the celeb brands launching these days? Just kidding. But no, seriously. BMW announced that it would collaborate with Voice, an Irish environmental NGO, to directly combat the mounting problem of increasing waste in the environment. The program introduced by the brands is aimed at raising awareness within circular economies and educating fostering environmental stewardship in young children. Included in the program is a picker pack, which is basically resources to be distributed in schools and classrooms to allow teachers and students to engage with the community and spread awareness on litter picking. The pack is taken home by each student, and the rules are to engage in as much litter picking as possible and return the next day to report how much litter they have picked. Patrick Jason, founder of the program, emphasizes that it's not just aimed at educating, but also making the public aware of litter. Neat, huh? That's a wrap for this video. Interested in more Mercedes-Benz news? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.